forward. Hello, everybody. Richard Seaton here, the blogging ninja, I now call myself, the ninja blogger. I've just changed my entire presence on the internet. I've renamed my blog. I've got everything tied in together. So now I know what I'm doing, and I'm not flailing around trying to find what makes me, what interests me in marketing and all this. I've now decided to be who I am. Okay, and that's basically what I'm going to talk about today. Do you remember way back when you were at school, they were always prefects, they were always top of the school, they were always good looking, they always had the best looking girlfriends, their parents had loads of money, they went on beautiful holidays, and I suppose we were just very envious, really, because they seemed to be in a place exactly where they wanted to be from an early age. By the age of 14, I can remember a pair of Australian twins at school. They were really nice guys. I had nothing against them, but they were just so good at everything. They were captain of the rugby team, the cricket team. They wore us out, really, with just how wonderful they were. Hi there, Evan. Very welcome, and welcome to this blab. I'm just going to be talking a bit about what motivates us and where it comes from, okay? I was just explaining that at school, we always have those people in our classes who seem to achieve everything and win all the prizes. They always do well, they're good looking and all the rest of it. So quickly we get squashed, don't we? The teachers tell us that we should emulate these wonderful people and be like them, because those are the guys that, are going to make it in life. And if you can't come up to their standards, you're just not going to make it, because you're just going to be an also-ran in the race. And do you know how long it took me? Do you know how many years it took me to realize actually that I'm okay? And instead of doing what everybody else requires me to do in my business, the same with you guys. We're always out there copying the top marketers. We start off that way, don't we? Everybody says, oh, look at what this guy's doing. Why don't you try that? That might earn you some money. So we come into this business with the sole intention of trying to earn money. That's a fail. That's going to fail from the start, isn't it? Because creativity... Oh, yes, I've just read, Hillary, you're back online after a week of lying low. Fully understand that. I tend to do that myself. But I'm going to be starting to do a lot more of these now, as I've now got myself a little mobile thing which I can take out for walks and start doing blabs from there. So the point I'm going to be talking about here is creativity. Only very recently, let me run it back just a little bit. I used to do cartooning. I had a job, working in a hospital. It was really boring, but every day I had a 1 hour trip to work on a bus and a 1 hour trip home. And guess what I took with me? I always took my drawing book, yeah? And I used to sit on the bus, and I used to draw all the ideas. And it was 6 o'clock in the morning. I was on this bus, and I was full of great ideas for my cartoons. So I'd be sketching away, and I got very good at drawing on a moving bus, drawing pictures. And I'd have about 10 cartoons all sorted. And when I got home in the evening, I'd draw them up properly, then offer them to various newspapers, magazines, and online things. And do you know what? Because I was coming from a really good place in myself, and I just absolutely was passionate and loved expressing myself through cartoons, guess what happened? People started buying them. They caught my bug. They caught my infectious passion. Okay. And then when I got into internet marketing, guess what happened? I lost that creativity, and I started trying to make money. And I was going around looking at all the top marketers and trying to copy what they did. One guy particularly, he's great, Michael Cheney. He writes phenomenal emails, and he sends them in, and people respond to them. And I tried doing that his way, and of course, because it wasn't genuine, it wasn't coming from my place, I didn't get the responses that he gets. And so I decided very recently to go back to what I know, which is cartooning. And immediately all my marketing friends said, well, Richard, you're not going to make any money out of cartooning, are you? It's not a marketing strategy. And I thought about this, and I thought, I don't care, actually, because where does creativity come from? Creativity is like a river, It has a source, and that source isn't out there. It isn't out there in the world. That source is right inside you, and that's where your creativity comes from. It comes from within and goes outwards. So you have to know what you're passionate about before you start marketing. Don't try and become a marketer and then find your passion, because that won't work. So I sat down last week and I started looking at all the cartoons I've drawn over the years, and guess what happened? You won't believe it. Whoosh, suddenly loads of new ideas flooded in. I thought, I can draw cartoons about marketing. So I immediately resurrected an old blog I'd had called doodledaubs.blogspot.co.uk, and I made a pact with myself. Every day I'm going to put one marketing related funny cartoon up on all of the social platforms, and that's all I'm going to do, and invite people back to my blog to read other things I'm doing. And I started that yesterday. And I started with Instagram, and I started with Twitter, and I started on Facebook. I opened a special page, and I'm getting followers, and I'm doing what I love doing. Whether or not I'm going to make six-figure incomes every month out of it, I have no idea. But I really don't care, because I'm absolutely in love with what I'm doing now. And that, guys, listen to this. This is gold dust, okay? The secret, we go through levels of progression in our life as well as in our business. The two things are exactly the same, aren't they? And at various points, you start to realize, why should I look for approval? Why should I go out into the world and seek approval all the time? Why should I dance to the tune that other people play? Why don't I do what I do just because I love doing it? And if people get attracted to it, which they will because of that energy, that creative energy, then I'll get that engagement. And guess what I saw the other day? Have you heard of a guy? He's Ryan Biddulph. He's a top world travel blogger. He's a wonderful fella. And the old Richard thought to himself, I can never relate to these people. These people are way above my league. But guess what I did? I just typed him an email, read a couple of his blogs, which are absolutely brilliant, and found a video that he made. Now, this video spoke very much along the lines of what I'm talking about, which is you can't pretend to the marketplace, because the marketplace, the people out there, the people who are going to look at what you do, have radar, and their radar is extremely sensitive. And it's called BS radar. Okay, and as soon as you come up with an idea that isn't yours, all the red lights will go off and they'll walk in the opposite direction. And I did this for 18 months with my business. Can you imagine the frustration? And only recently I found that secret. I got back in touch, started doing my drawings, put them out there, and got warm applause and really lovely feedback from everybody. And that's what I'm just going to do now. So I've got a few notes here. I've covered most of the things I wanted to. But I would strongly recommend, first of all, that you look at my cartoons. But the other thing I strongly recommend you do is go and have a look at Ryan Biddulph. He's called let me get his name right. Blogging in Paradise, his website's called, and he's incredibly inspirational, and he's a wonderful guy. And I actually hoped he'd come on here, but he's got a radio thing coming up where he's going to be talking to 8 million people in America. So I couldn't persuade him that this blab was far more interesting. Although who knows, he may be listening and he may come in one day. But so there you go. Just reading a few of the notes here. Dynamic speaking. That's great. We've got a few people on. I'm just checking to see who we've got. We've got Ian Murray. Hi, Ian. Good to see you on here. Thanks for joining us. Hillary and 8 other people who I'm not sure who they are at the moment. I am chasing him for an interview. Absolutely. I'm bombarding him because, I watched he did a private blab. He's actually looking at Blab as a possible platform, okay? Ryan Biddulph. And what he did, he made a little private video and he snuck it away in a corner on one of his blogs, hoping nobody'd notice it. But I tracked it down, and he was basically sitting in a dark room testing Blab, and he came out with loads of good stuff. So yeah, check him out. Thank you very much. Yes, that's him. I'm sure most of you have heard of him, but he's just infectious, really is a nice guy. So that's all I wanted to say. Was don't look outside for your inspiration, guys. Come inside and find who you are and what you want to do. And it can be a very long process. It took me, well, it's my birthday next week, and I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but that's how long it's taken for me to discover the energy that powers me now. I know who I am. I don't care what other people want me to do anymore. I'm there, okay? I'm there. I'm happy. I'm 100% myself. And I just urge you to sit down, drop all the approval and need for applause, and just sit there and do what you enjoy, you know? If anybody wants to come in, oh, thank you very much. Yes. See you again soon. Birthday next Saturday. See you, Hillary. So that was really all I wanted to talk about, except one very important thing I'm going to mention. Next Sunday at 12:15, I have a very special guest on my second ever guest blab, okay? Her name is Jennifer Giacopo, and she's from Australia. And she's a motivational speaker, and she's brilliant. She's absolutely brilliant. And she's going to be sitting down in the hot seat next week and telling us why she loves the internet, why she uses it. So please check back on my site here and register for her interview, her guest blab next Sunday. We'd love to see you on there. The more people who turn up, the better. If anybody wants to say anything, I'm going to keep this open for another couple of minutes. Anybody wants to join in or has any points they want to make, please feel free to just come in, and I'll open a seat up for you. We can have a chat. So I'll give that 2 minutes. What's the time now? It's 12:38. I'll give it another 5 minutes. Has anybody got anything they'd like to say at this point? RG Jefferson joined. Hi there, RG. Ewan. Evan. I can't read. I've got the wrong glasses on. It looks like nobody wants to participate today, so that's fine. But I'll reiterate one more time what I said is just find your own presence. Don't find what other people expect you to do. Don't try and wear a suit and be a phenomenal slick marketer if that's not what you do, and if you really loathe it, because all that'll happen is you'll drive people away. Get in touch with yourself, find out really who you are and what your message is and what you love to do, and that's how you'll attract, my friends, as much traffic as you'll ever need. And they'll trust you, they'll like you, they'll get to know you, and from those 3 little links you will start to make money online, because people will trust what you suggest to them. Okay, so thank you for being here on the blab, and I'll see you all next week with Jennifer Giacopo, and don't forget to join me. And I'll put a link in here. Actually, I'm going to put a link in because this is what I was banging on about earlier, which is my new cartooning blog. What I do is I put up a blog post every day now. I put a fresh cartoon up, and you're welcome to join it. And please comment, like it, follow it, and do whatever you like. It's nothing but a bit of fun, which is what life's about. And if you can't have a bit of fun, what's the point? Take care, all of you, and see you soon. Bye-bye.